This is James Holder for IFL in association with Macklins Gym Marbella. I'm in Collyhurst and Moston Gym today in Manchester. With me I've got head trainer Pat Barrett. What's happening, Pat?
How you doing, sir? You all right?
I'm alright, looking very Suge Knight-esque there, Pat, may I say. Also joined by Tommy McDONAGH. What's happening, Tom?
Alright, James, you okay, pal?
I'm very well, mate, very well.
Good.
So yeah, good to have you, Jim. Good to be in the gym. Thank you for having me down, mate. First and foremost, can you tell me a little bit about the place?
Well, this gym, me and Tommy have been here for, I've been in this gym for over 35 years now. I started here, first gym I ever came to. Now I'm actually running it. I used to train Tommy McDONAGH. And to be actually running it, someone like Tommy McDONAGH is absolutely great.
You've got a good crop of young fighters coming through now, the likes of Michael Gomez. How does it feel to have these sort of talents to work with, and like Sean Ben Mullinder as well? How does it feel, Mulligan? How does it feel to have these talents to kind of mould?
Well, the great thing about it, me and Tommy work really well because from the amateurs, Tommy does all that side of it. And there's not much prepping when they come up to me to turn pro or to train with me. Because Tommy's obviously one of our fighters and he knows exactly how I do things and how we work together. And he knows exactly how the College to Moston tradition goes on. Yes. So by the time they do come up to me and they want to go pro, you know, it makes it 10 times easier. I don't have to do nothing much.
So I know you've got a good young 24 to 25 headstrong crop of kids in the gym that you work with on a daily basis. One of them as well is in the GB squad, interestingly enough. So this must show that some of the stuff you're doing is coming to fruition.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, Lyndon's Pat's cousin. Do you know what I mean? And Pat brought him into the gym a couple of years ago, not long ago. You know, try to get him out of trouble, and he's just took to it natural. And even though he's got a lot to learn and he's got a lot to work, and he's only quite, you know, he's a relatively novice still. But yeah. He's done well in the ABA, he's picked him for GB, and he's going around the country boxing. And it's only going to be a matter of time before, you know, before he turns pro, and you'll be seeing a lot more of him.
As I said, with the fighters sort of Zelfa Barrett and Sean Joe Mulligan and Michael Gomez Jr., you've got a good crop of fighters coming through, because when the likes of yourself retired, Jennings and even Pat as well, the gym probably went a little bit quiet in terms of producing pro fighters.
You know, the gym, I remember me and Pat sitting down saying, wow, everyone's leaving us, but you know, we stuck together. Everyone was leaving us. Even the caretaker left us. You know what I mean? We didn't even have one, but he left as well. But we said, Pat, listen, we can start from scratch. Another 3 or 4 years, 5 years, we'll be back on it, and that's what we've done. We've built from scratch. You know, Zelfa, me and Pat was there in Zelfa, Lyndon. They was all having like the first amateur fights, and now, the 3 or 4 years later, they've been in the gym every day. They've had good amateur fights, and now they, you know. Obviously, Zelfa's 5-0, doing really, really well, holding his own with some great fighters, and he's not even nowhere near the finished article. Do you know what I mean? He's only a baby. Do you know what I mean? So we've got some top kids in here. I'm telling you, you're gonna be seeing a lot of us, James. I promise you that, because these young kids, Ben, you got your Chris Monaghan, you got obviously Zelfa Barrett, you got Blaze, you got Little Gomez. And like I say with Lyndon, and behind Lyndon amateurs, you got young Connor Ward. There's several others. There's loads, trust me. We try to do what Brian did years ago, where we brought us all up, like a conveyor belt. Matthew Hall, myself, Mike Jennings, Gomez, Anthony Farnell, Dave Barrett. Brian kept on churning them out. You know what I mean? So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can try and repeat that.
I mean, you fought for a British and Commonwealth title yourself, Pat. You was a British champion.
Yeah.
Do you think you guys can produce fighters that can sort of touch base and touch water on that kind of level?
I believe so. I mean, I remember one of the greatest trainers told me a long time ago, and this is how I test myself. He says, a good trainer is somebody who produces his own fighters. Yeah. Now, even though some of the fighters in this gym have not been mine from day one, it's how I've transformed them into better fighters, and that's the start. The rest of them, like Zelfa, Lyndon, whatever, Ben, they're the ones that we've actually brought along and made them concrete. So this, like Tommy says, we're going to have a good crop of fighters coming out of this gym. Mm-hmm. The way we like underground, because we're starting from the beginning, from scratch. We haven't got no big name fighters. They're all our own fighters that will become big names. And no one doesn't know of us or heard of us or doesn't know what I'm doing. But this, like Tommy said, it won't be for long before everybody recognises and say, hey, they're doing brilliant and they've got a good crop of fighters. Because when we take them sparring now, we've had them sparring with,
Josh Warrington
today, down today, which is
Gary
good.
Sykes,
Gary Sykes.
Andy Kroloff, Tyrone Nurse.
Yeah, and they're good sparring for these kids that are up and coming. So they're holding their own, which is very good, but they're also getting the experience, which is even better.
You've got 3 lads from the gym out in 3 weeks in Manchester.
I think there's 5 of them. We've got
Sorry, excuse me, 5 of them.
Zelfort, we've got Matthew Ryan, Ben Mulligan, Chris Monaghan, Blaze, plus we've got Michael Gomez. You know, and this is all down to Pat. You know, it's pretty much like probably the MGM. You know, when he started off from brand new. You know, with Pat started off with Black Flash Promotions. He only had, you had to rely on other fighters from out of it, from other areas to jump on his show to make his show. Now he's got 6 fighters of his own. Do you know what I mean? Just from the club, he can keep them busy. This time next year, he'll probably have 10. Do you get what I mean? So we'll have to hopefully have bigger venues, and by then these young kids will probably be fighting for central areas and blah blah blah. So it's it's going to take a bit, James, but we're getting there. Do you know what I mean? And it's hard work, but we're not going anywhere. College to Moston, we're still going.
All right, well listen, I think you're doing a fantastic job. I can't thank you both for having me down to your club.
Thanks,
now I kind of know where you are. I'm going to come down again. So thanks for having me.
Excellent, thank you, James.
That's
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Massive fan of Death Row as well.
No, Cougar,